Hello everybody, thank you for watching today. My name is David and I'm a life coach and I help people heal from all kinds of different trauma. This is a question and answer video I do every week. I'm answering people's questions from last week. Any questions you guys have today, go down into the comment section, ask me anything you want, I'll answer them next week. I do this every single Monday. I want to welcome new subscribers. Thank you, everybody who's new here today. If you haven't subscribed, could you please, if you don't have an account, could you make one? I'm asking you to push a couple buttons to help what I'm doing here. What I'm trying to do here is save people's lives. This is one of the biggest reasons people commit suicide every day, all day long. People are killing themselves because of trauma, relationship trauma specifically. So if you think that my information benefits you or can benefit someone else, can you please support me in different ways by subscribing to my channel and voting on my videos and posting my videos at places and putting them in playlists and stuff like this. Really helps me. I really appreciate all the support you guys can give me. Thank you very, very much. All I ask you guys, ask a question, give us your locations, please. Everybody wants to know where you're at. Just tell us where you're at. Be general if you need to be. That's fine. Thank you. And I want to thank Vanessa and somebody else for donating to my channel. Thank you so much, Vanessa, and thank you so much, the other person. I don't know your name. I got a company name from you, and I didn't know if you wanted me to divulge that on here. If you would like me to, just tell me if you know who you are. Thank you both of you very, very much. I can't think of a nicer, more kind gesture of support than giving me your hard-earned money. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate both of you and anybody else and everybody else who donates to this channel. Thank you. I like to suggest something or recommend something every week to help with trauma. This week, I want to just give 9 ways to increase your self-esteem. Okay? I've got one of my questions here that's so sad from somebody, Julia, who broke my heart. And I want to recommend some ways that all of you and Julia can help raise your self-esteem. Here's Julia's question. And I don't know where you're from, Julia. Please leave us your locations, everybody. Hello, David. With visible traces, I meant scars from cutting. Julia asked me last week about, she asked me a question, and I wasn't exactly sure what she meant by visible traces, so she's clarifying it up for me. I'm not borderline, but diagnosed with CPTSD, and only have been cutting 3 or 4 times as a teenager, but the scars are quite visible and a permanent reminder of traumatic events from the past. It's like, I don't know what that word, I think it's a misspell. Because of these scars, I can't heal, even though I want to. But every time I see them, I break down and start to feel worthless. And I'm so sorry, Julie. I've known lots of people with similar problems. They've cut themselves a lot. Younger, usually when they're younger and they grow up and they still have these scars, right? They have to live with them. And especially a reminder of your trauma. So I want to come up with some ways that might help you, Julia, okay? And everybody else watching. The first 3 is about awareness, about consciousness. Things to keep telling yourself and be aware of your behaviors and your thought patterns, okay? Number 1 is no comparing. We cannot compare ourselves to other people. And I'm not saying any of these are easy. This is about being conscious of and trying to get better and better and better and better at it, okay? Until the day we die. We just keep trying to be better at stuff like this. Tell yourself all the time that human beings are all equal, okay? We're all different, but we're equal. Very, very important, Julia. And we don't compare ourselves to other people because the only reason we do that is about physical attributes. And there's always someone better looking. There's always someone that's smarter, someone that's stronger, someone that's faster, better at whatever you want to say. You're never going to be, if you compare yourself, you're always going to lose. Okay? We do not compare ourselves to other people. We tell ourselves that we're just equally unique and different. Okay? Number 2, realize what your inner critic is. That's this thing. Can be your worst critic inside. Okay? Realize that your brain and your thoughts are not you. Your brain is trying to keep you alive, and we all have impulsive thoughts, and we cannot put much value into these. Okay? Impulsivity is about not regulating our emotions well enough. We have too many emotions on our plate, and we're not processing them. And after having so many emotions, so many things our body's doing, we become impulsive. We have impulsive thoughts, more impulsive thoughts. Start learning how to process emotions. Realize that also the third one I have here, sorry, is always realize, always, and I hear it's about consciousness again, right? If consciousness is an iceberg, we're only aware of the tip, and there's all this down here we're not aware of that's going on in our head, things that we're thinking of, okay? One thing that we are always doing is we're always asking ourselves if our life is worth more, if it's more important, if it's worth more than this, if it's better than this. And so our actions are always answering this, okay? So be very conscious and aware that what you're doing is showing your life worth, your self-worth, okay? Number 4 is negative and traumatic experiences must be understood until they feel better. We must have a positive narrative. That's the truth. Things that hurt aren't true. Okay? Somebody hurts us, we're internalizing it. We're saying we deserve it. If somebody's hurting other people, they're hurting inside. It's them. Okay? We need to understand your traumas, Julia, so that the experiences you've had have always happened. They will always be there. We can't get rid of them, but we can change how we feel about them by healing, and that's understanding, Julia. So if we have things that are reminding us of our traumas, that's, in other words, that's your brain telling you to heal these things and fix these things. We need to face these. Okay, so if you feel better about your traumas, your scars won't remind you of traumatic experiences. They'll just remind you of experiences that are no longer traumatic. I hope that makes sense. Number 5, exercise is proven to increase self-esteem. So do something every day to raise your heart rate. Every day, be committed to it. Be committed to yourself. Number 6, now this is a careful one, okay? We get in a lot of trouble by helping people and feeling sorry for people and putting people before ourselves. But I still want you to know that helping and serving others helps your self-esteem. Okay? It just does. But very careful. We are pretty selfless people right now. Number 7, learn how to forgive yourself. And that really, learn how to forgive yourself, okay? And realize that we have emotions too, and we need to learn how to accept our emotions, that they're not wrong or right. So things that we're feeling is just what we're feeling. And we need to be conscious and aware of that, not judge ourselves, allow and accept our feelings and our emotions, and not say we shouldn't feel this way, or I feel guilty because my emotions are feeling this way. I have so many people that feel ashamed and feel guilty for what their body's doing. You're not really in control of that very much, okay? If we cannot accept our emotions, we are ashamed, we're guilty, we feel guilty, and we ignore our emotions, and then we can't regulate them, we can't process them, we can't give ourselves what we emotionally need. All right? And number 8 is we don't judge others. And that comes right after learn how to forgive yourself. Okay? And there's something about forgiving others. Okay? I'm not saying you have to forgive anybody. I'm saying do not judge others. We've got to stop. We've got to stop judging others. Okay? And we don't put or place importance and focus on what people are doing. All right? And people are allowed to make mistakes. That's the only way we are allowed to make mistakes. If we judge other people for what they do, then we judge ourselves. Really, really important. And the last one, number 9, you must know that you are not what happened to you. You are not your circumstances. Okay? Find out what your self is. Have a good, tight relationship with yourself, and your self-esteem will increase. You are not what happened to you. You are your choices and what you decide to do with it. So our traumas, traumatic experiences, do not define us. No way. And people that allow that to happen don't have a very good, strong identity or stable sense of self, and they do not heal. Okay? So we are not what happens to us. We are what we did with it. Really important. I hope this helps, guys. I'll put this down in the description box for any of you that are interested and want to try to follow those things. And thank you, Julia. That's it. Let's get into the rest of the questions. Anybody that wants coaching, by the way, you can find me on daviddemars.com. I'm currently accepting new clients. Thank you. All right. Get out of Julia's question here. And good luck, Julia. I'm sorry that you have scars. We got to start accepting ourselves for who we are, okay? And you are not your scars. There's a Julia in here that outshines anything that's out here. It should, okay? Thanks, Julia. Good luck. I'm sorry. All right. Tell me's doesn't give us your location. Please tell us where you are at. Where are you guys? Please tell us. Thank you. Says, have you talked about the dangers of serial dating? It is a high indication of self-esteem issues, which I would think narcs can smell. Yeah, I mean, narcissists need people with low self-esteem, right? People with high self-esteem wouldn't have anything to do with them. And if you hate yourself, as narcissists do, you want to find other people that don't like themselves either, okay? I want to add serial dating. Kind of what is it? And people that have not a defined self, stable sense of self, will find their self, what they think is, in other people, okay? And they have idealized view of somebody, and then have an idealized view of love and what love is supposed to be. And they just keep thinking, this isn't perfect, this isn't it, this isn't it, this isn't it. But what they're doing is they're addicts. Serial daters are addicts, period. They're just addicts, just like any drug addict, alcoholic, gambler, sex addict, anything else that's addictive. That's all they're doing. I've said this many times, so I'm not going to go too far into it. We have 4 happy hormones, plus some other chemicals that rise when we are excited about another person. And we, serial daters have a void, right? Not quite all here. Didn't get enough love as a child. They have an idealized view, just as we all do, of what a idealized person is in love and relationship and marriage. And so they meet somebody that fills this void. Somebody gives them attention that they didn't usually get, maybe never got as a child. And it raises their hormones so much, it's just powerful. It's powerful. It's a love potion. And it takes about 6 months, generally, before those start going down naturally. And we need to build and establish a relationship, a foundation of a good relationship. We need to start really knowing who we are and what we want and how we feel and what we think before these start falling down. Or that's all we have. And you guys who dated narcissists and people who have abused you, it is addiction. And when you take away that addiction, there's nothing left. And that's what makes you think you love people. I love them. I love the person who abuses me. The person who doesn't tell me who they are. I don't know who they are inside. They don't know themselves. And they abuse me, but I love them. No, you're addicted. Those are hormones. It's hormonal. It's physical, not so much emotional. Okay? So the addict, the serial dater, loves that rush, right? As it goes down, they need it again. They don't establish, they don't care about who you are. They don't know themselves, remember? So people that don't know themselves don't care who you are. And they want that rush again. And as it starts going down, they start saying, it's your fault, it's your fault. It's just like someone taking their drugs away. They feel threatened, they get angry, right? And so they want that rush again, and they go find it. They go find it in the next person. And each relationship they're doing this to, they're losing more and more of who they are, more of themselves. And then the next person, hormones, woo, and then finally it goes down again. And it could, instead of taking 6 months, it could be 6 weeks. It could end up being 6 days. It could be 6 hours, because that's like drugs, right? Drugs are never enough. Anything outside is never enough. Money's never enough. Looks aren't enough. Drugs aren't enough. Alcohol's not enough. Sex isn't enough. It's got to be internal. So that high gets less and less and less and less. Faster and faster and faster. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Thank you for asking. Next question is from Juanita in Elkview, West Virginia. Hello, Juanita. Juanita asks, Is it typical for a borderline to pretend to be your friend, to get information, secrets, and then turn around and throw it in your face when they are raging? Seriously? Totally. Totally. Borderlines, yeah, big time. Borderlines don't know who they are, so they don't mind acting like anybody. I compare it to actors. So you've got these actors that are able to just jump right into a role, right? Immediately, just give them a script and say, here's who you are, and be this, and they'll just start doing it. A lot of actors are narcissists, borderlines, unstable, stuff like this, aren't they? They want attention, right? So, but then you have method actors, and I think method actors are the people that may know who they are more. Okay? And they have to really live this role and lose who they are to be this role, right? Whereas people that can just jump right into it, maybe not have a stable sense of who they are. Now, I know this is just acting is maybe an ability, but I think there's something to that. But borderlines don't know who they are, so they'll be whoever you want them to be. And turn around and throw it in your face when they're raging. Absolutely. I mean, it's idealized to value. Idealized to value. They can do it in seconds. You're amazing. I hate you. And that's what they do. It's just unbelievable how they do it. You're the most amazing person, and then you're the worst person in the world in seconds. They'll do that. So, but more specifically, just manipulators, okay? I wrote down here, this is just my opinion. I said, that is the most common approach all manipulators take. Being on your good side, being your friend, being nice to you, being good to you. Second is the wounded or victim approach. Poor me, right? Third is, and that's that empathy. I've heard psychopaths say, oh, I just, like a fishing line, I put empathy on the end of the line, and I throw it out there to see who bites. And that's just, oh, poor me. Oh, poor me. The wounded person, right? I'm limping. Help me. Help me. I need help, right? And then the third I wrote is a good Samaritan or hero. Good Samaritan or hero. All my opinion, but I will elaborate Monday, as I said. Hope that helps. Thank you. And next question is from Heather. I don't see where you are at. Please tell us your locations, guys. Thank you. And Heather just makes a statement. Yes, let it go. Best advice I got from David was to let my possessions and lost money go. Both. Beth, please. This is to Beth. Heather's writing to Beth if you're watching, Beth. Beth, please. I'm so grateful and blessed for my life now. There is nothing more valuable than peace. So Heather figured out what she values. And you figured out that it's not money or possessions. I'm not saying that we can't value these things, but what's at the top? Priority, right? Your life, how you feel, the people you love, the relationships you have with them, your future, peace, right? I just wanted to read that for Beth and for everybody who's in that similar situation, because narcissistic abuse, any abusive relationships, and I believe it's 97% has financial abuse or exploitation, and it's always first. So, I mean, people talk about signs. What are signs you're in an abusive relationship? What signs the person you're dating is a narcissist? Something. Financial abuse or exploitation. That you can't get more common than that. Right? Not all narcissists change. I mean, not all narcissists hit. Not all narcissists cheat. Not all narcissists may lie. I don't know about that. But, god damn, just about all of them exploit you financially. Right? Somehow, some way. You think about it and you'll realize that if you're in a relationship with one, they probably did somehow. Right? Thank you for saying that, Heather. Appreciate you. Hi, David. I'm Rachel from Tennessee. Hello, Rachel. The hardest part of me is even connecting to the reality that my ex has a personality disorder. Do you know what I mean? I find it helpful speaking with others about their experiences and drawing parallels, but still. More specifically, I find it difficult to give him credit for how much he actually did and not carrying so much blame myself. It's almost as if as long as I take responsibility for it, then I could have changed it. I hope I've expressed myself effectively. Yeah, you have, Rachel. And I think one part to really understand is these relationships are codependent and they get enmeshed, right? And then we all get into this. Was it my fault or his fault? Did I do it or he do it? Am I the narcissist or he the narcissist? Stop. Stop. Separate yourself, okay? Try it at me, and I highly recommend doing this with someone else. He did things wrong. You did things wrong, Rachel, okay? It's not it. It's not it. Does that make sense? It took two, sure. And just acknowledge what your part is, not his part, okay? I don't care if you didn't know that he was a narcissist or he didn't know. He was abusing you. You didn't know as you let it continue, right? But it's not your fault if someone else abuses you, right? Do you see that? Do this with a professional, Rachel, or it gets really complicated. We have lots of shame and guilt, okay? And we've got to start forgiving ourselves and start understanding traumatic or negative experiences until they are positive, until they feel better, all right? That's when you know you understand it. That's the truth. The truth feels better. Truth doesn't hurt, feels better. I hope that helps, Rachel. But please keep asking me questions. And I'm going to stop right here, part one. I'll start part two in a few minutes. Thank you. If you guys could please, like I said, subscribe to my channel, share this video, put it in the playlist, vote, comment, tell us where you're from, love yourself first. Thanks. See you in part two. Bye.